What is up, guys? Alright, I'm back. It's been a while. That's okay. Quarantine got us all locked up. Alright, I'm back with this video, and in this video, I'm just gonna dive straight into it. We're gonna be working with TypeScript, okay? TypeScript is like, as you might know, TypeScript is a type language that basically makes your JavaScript more secure, more stronger, right? And TypeScript is actually something I've been wanting to work with for quite some time now. And there isn't no better time to do it but to do it during COVID. And there's other videos that I want to do using different other tools as well. But I want to start off using this. I want to start off with TypeScript because I've been wanting to use TypeScript for quite some time now. Alright, so that's what we're going to be diving into. I haven't created any other previous projects with TypeScript, so this is kind of like a raw video almost. Because I never worked with it before. I just skimmed through the documentation just to see what the code looks like, but I haven't even created a project or anything like that. So this will be the video where I actually create a project for real for the first time, actually using TypeScript and going through the documentation, using Stack Overflow, using all the helpful tools, no tutorials, just Stack Overflow and the documentation, and see how far we get from there. So I know I'm going to be stuck on stuff because that's what happens when you just use documentation. You get stuck on shit. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. If I haven't mentioned it, the project we're going to be no, I haven't mentioned it. The project that we're going to be doing is going to be simple. It's going to be a simple login project. You want to keep it simple so we can actually focus on the main focus at hand, which is TypeScript. So that's why I wanted to keep the project small and simple. So it's going to be a basic login form that redirects you to a home page, and it's going to have form validations, all that stuff, and I'm going to show you the package I use for form validations. But the main goal is TypeScript. Alright, so let's get started on that because I'm pretty geeked. Alright, so, like I said, I recently searched it before, React TypeScript, and then I go to the documentation here, and this is what I was skimming through to actually, get a sense of what it's all about. Based on, looking through the documentation, it seemed pretty self-explanatory, but not always. So what I did is that where did I go to get it set up? Project. Oh yeah, create React app. Okay, so since we're using React, it's basically self-explanatory to do the React version. So you have to go to the React page. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Go to their create React app that has TypeScript implemented. And then here, you want to install it. Okay, so the first thing of adding TypeScript is to install it. To start a new create React project with TypeScript, you can run template TypeScript. Okay, so it has a template. Okay, cool. Let me hide this recording part here. Okay, so what we can do here is now we're just gonna create the React app and then use the TypeScript as our template. Okay, cool. So let's cd into our desktop here in the terminal, and let's don't cd again, same thing. Let's do npx, do a regular create React app. Okay, give it a name, of course. So we're just gonna call it React TypeScript, and then do --template, and then TypeScript. So TypeScript. Okay, so that should do Wait. Okay, yeah. So that should do all the underlining stuff. Oh yeah, see here. Look, it says create React that template TypeScript. So it should do all that that TypeScript stuff that it's supposed to do. Okay. So I was doing that. Um, well, let's scroll down here. If you previously data create React globally. Okay, so if you have a create React app globally, we recommend you uninstall the. Oh, so you need to uninstall the global version. Oh, okay. So it's basically saying use npx. Okay, so that's saying nothing. Installs of no longer okay. So the global version is no longer supported. Okay. To add TypeScript to an existing Create React app, install it. Wait, what? Oh, existing. Sorry, nope, that's not us. We just started, so okay. Get started with TypeScript and React. And it says you're not required to make a TS config file. One will be made for you. Right. You're allowed to edit the generated TypeScript configuration. Okay. So it's done. So let's do cd react TypeScript code. Bitch. Doesn't work. At least not the code thing. Okay, so fine. Open it. Here. There we go. So it's want to act like a butt Sam. I gotta install that actually. You see a path. Now what is that thing? What is that thing where you do the code thing? It's like, yeah, here it is. It's like path or something. There we go. So now I can do the code in my terminal and then it'll just open the project. Okay. And now it's working. Alright, so, okay, so now we have this project here and it's all TypeScript. And you know it's TypeScript because it has the TSX in it. Yeah, so that definitely looks like TypeScript. Okay. And then it doesn't okay, so it doesn't have the TypeScript type look to it, because it's supposed to have like type definitions and all that stuff. So we probably have to create that. Yeah, that's probably why it doesn't look like that, because even this looks like regular JSX, to be honest. Even the there's nothing in the test. Okay, see, okay, there's some TypeScript there. It has this colon here, and then it's specifying that the type is that this prop is this type. It's giving it type definitions here. Okay, so it is TypeScript. Okay, so it's working. Now, basically, we have to turn this into TypeScript. Yeah, configuration. Oh yeah, the TS. This one. Oh, okay, there it is. So it automatically generates this code for us when we use the template. So we don't have to do anything here. I mean, if we want to change some settings around, we could, but I'm not going to touch it because it's already there. If you can hear the rain in the background, apologies. Let's see. Troubleshooting. Okay, that's just something happens or something goes wrong. Okay, so what are the TypeScript example on React cheat sheets? Yeah, go to the cheat sheet thingy. Web docs. Okay, yeah. Okay, so set up TypeScript with React. Okay, let's go down here. Good understanding prerequisites. I butchered that word. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that word, but yeah. Good understanding of React. Familiar with TypeScript types. We'll get familiar with when once we see it. Having read the TypeScript section of the Butcher Docs, having read the React section of the new TypeScript Playground, having read the TypeScript section. Oh, this is in the React documentation. Okay. Okay. Here, you can learn more about using TypeScript React. Here, what is that one? It's a starter? No, I want to use a starter. No. No, not a starter. To starter, you need to add TypeScript as a dependency to your project. Configure the TypeScript compiler options. Use the right file extensions. Add definitions for libraries you use. Add definitions for libraries. So if we like install a package, we have to do TypeScript version. That might be a little much, but okay, let's just go to the first one. Add TypeScript as a dependency to your project. To use it, okay. Using TypeScript with Create React app. Supports TypeScript out of the box to your project. Okay, we did that. Use the template. Add to your project. npm. Okay. So we have to actually so we have to install TypeScript here. So let's install it. So we have the template, so everything is in TypeScript file extension, but now we have to actually install it. So install TypeScript, save it as a dev dependency, and then it says, congrats, you have installed the latest version of TypeScript. Installing TypeScript gives access to the TSC command. Okay. Before configuration, let's add to the scripts section in our package.json. So we need to the TSC is the compiler, I guess, that builds it out into JavaScript, so we can actually use the JavaScript instead of the TypeScript. That makes sense. Okay, so dependencies, types, no types. There it is, TypeScript. Okay, so now we need to, after we do that, we need to do the build. We need to put in our build. So when we build it out, it builds out to JavaScript. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so see, that's the part. That's the tricky part, because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to eliminate all of this and put this in there, or add this TSC to it. I don't know. They didn't. That's what they don't specify. Because we need this to actually build out the project. I'll just add it in there. And then we can do, and then I do npm run build to see if it'll build it out correctly. Let's see. Okay, that's our build folder. It has all of our stuff in it, well, somewhat. All of our stuff in it. Okay, what just happened? Did it work? We're currently running a version of Typescript which is not officially supported by Typescript /ESLint and Typescript tree. Supported version. These are the these are the supported versions. And this is my version. So my version is too high. It needs to be between this and this, I'm assuming. And then my version is too high. So please only send my bugs when using the officially supported version. But it did it though, so I'm not sure. It might have worked. It might have. I'm gonna go with it worked. Because I mean, yeah, I have a version that's not supported because it's too new, I'm assuming. But it did compile everything into the build folder. So that will be the folder we use for production. I don't know if I want to put this online though. That was something we'll look into. We'll look into that when we get to that point. But I'm going to delete it for now. We could always recreate it if we need to. But. Okay, so alright, so we did that, and then now it's a configuring the TypeScript compiler. The compiler is no help until we tell it what to do. In TypeScript, these rules are defined in a special file called tsconfig. Yeah, we got that file. To generate this file, no, we already did that. Generate it. Now I'm looking at the generator. Okay, yeah, so we don't have to create it because we just did that with the template. The template gives it to us right here. So I guess this is like a from scratch version to where you do it all yourself, but the template already does that for us. So of many options, we look at the router. The compiler will take TypeScript files and generate JavaScript files. However, we don't want to get confused with the source files and the generated output, right? We'll place all of our code in the source directory. Right, so this is our source directory with all the code in it, a tsconfig file, and then next we'll tell the compiler where our source code is and where the output should go, right? Okay, so copy that, and then the root directory where all of our TypeScript files are here, and then it'll output the JavaScript to our build folder. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we can add that. We can add that here. Like that. Okay, so Okay, just by how we're flowing right now, I'm definitely gonna have to make a part 2 because we're gonna have to get familiar with this in the part 1 that we're doing now, and then part 2 we'll probably work on the form because I'm already 20 minutes in and we still haven't did any real work yet. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be part 1 where we're getting familiar with it because I know I'm gonna have to get familiar with all this stuff here. We're just setting it up now, but we're still gonna have to learn some stuff. So we're definitely gonna have to make a part 2. But okay, so we got that there, and then great. Now we have now. Okay, great. Now we run our build script, compile it with the output generated to the build folder. That way. Okay, so when you do npm run build, it should do it. It should build it out pretty good, which I believe. I mean, we build it out before we even put this in here, so it probably does work. We'll get to that later. But file extensions and React modify the write your code in the .js file. Yep. We have 2 extensions. We have .ts. While .tsx is a special extension for files which contain JSX. Yeah, because this is JSX here. Yeah, so this is JSX, and then if you see our test setup thing right here, see these are TSs because they're not JSX, they're just files that, you know, export some type of code that does some functionality. But JSX, which renders elements, they have the TSX extension. Build. If you see no output, it means that it completed successfully. What you mean if you see no output? I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to look more into that in the build process later on. Okay, too many. So library bundled. Oh, there are 2 ways to get declarations for a library. From other packages. Oh, this is if you want to like use TypeScript with like a form validation package or something like that. The compiler relies on declaration file as a type. Declaration file provides all the type information about a library. Okay, bundled. All we need to do is install the library and we use it right away. Check if our library has types. So there's like a TypeScript version of a package that we can use. But TypeScripts. Okay. For now, I don't want to use it on any other packages. I don't know if that's best practice or I'm not sure on that note, but I know I just want to use it for our application, for this little app that we're doing. So I don't really need to use it for any packages that I include. I don't want to use it for that. So I don't have to, probably don't have to do that part. But okay, so let's set up. Is everything pretty much good now? Do you have to like turn it into TypeScript. We got TypeScript installed. We got the configurations, all that installed. We got the extension, so it's recognizing TypeScript. So, let's start our server. Start. Make sure that's working. It should show all of this. That took like 1,000 years. Okay. Okay, so it's working. Alright. Now, let's see if we can actually get into it now, okay? So, that's to start it up. Okay, so the getting started, typing component props. Familiar with basic orientation reference for React developers familiarizing with TypeScript. String, status object, object. Okay, so these are all basically all the types you can use, right? So you can have a prop that has a message prop, and you basically have to specify which data type it is. So message is type string, count, number. They have booleans. If you want to do an array of strings, you can. That data type is string array. Okay. I'm not sure what. This is like an either or. I've seen this done in JavaScript, but if we ever come across that, we can look into that. Object, and then you have the empty. If a prop has an empty object, or if it has an object that has properties in it, you have to define those types as well. An array of objects, yes. Okay. This is where it's gonna get good. An array of objects, because that's like our primary data type. It's an array of objects. When we get data back from the API, it's an array of objects. So this is good. This is how you do an array of objects. You say what the object is. You define the props in the objects, their data types, and then you have to put the array after it to let you know that it's an array of objects. Cool. We're going to be using that one. No, wait. What are we doing? A login form? No, we probably don't have to use that one. I lied, but that's good to know. Dictionaries. This is the first way you can declare a data type of a dictionary. It's the second way. Any function original, invoke it, not recommended. Type function, don't do it this way. Function that doesn't take or return anything. Very common. So if you want to create a function that says this is a function that returns nothing, this is how you do it. If their function has parameters, this is how you do it. So onChange is a type of function, and then the ID, you gotta specify in all the props that you pass in. You have to specify their data types, which is a number, an event. You have to specify its data type as well, and then specify what it returns, which is void. It means nothing. And then you have the optional type. I never used that. I've never seen that before. So, okay, so this is how you define all your props. I mean, your data types. Okay, so functional components. These can be written as normal functions that take props, arguments, right, and return JSX elements. Okay, yeah. So you have three ways you can do this. Okay, so all these are app components. There's three ways you could define a functional component, and then you have the props in there. So when you have props in it, you destructure it by grabbing the prop that's passed in, but you also have to make sure you define your props data types like we've seen before. Here's doing that. The message prop is a type string. Make sure you define that up here, and then you say the message prop. It's from the app props. So we're getting it from here. So it knows that this is the message that we're using in this type string. Okay. And then you return whatever JSX you need to return. Then the second way, okay, so let's actually do this, right? That seems a little self-explanatory. Okay, so let's get rid of this, right? So there's nothing there. Get rid of this logo. I guess you gotta get rid of React because it's blurred out like we're not using it or something. Let's get rid of that. And let's do let's do a dummy, like a dummy component. Let's just try practicing this, right? So how's it doing it here? Define your props, type definitions, then you have your component. Okay. You're defining what your props should be when you pass it into the app component. Oh, that's what they're doing. Okay. So let's create an app component here. I mean, let's create a different component here. Let's create a hello world.tsx component, and then let's grab this, right? It's gonna be our dummy standoff one, right? Okay, and then of course we gotta export this. Oh no, it's not called app, it's called hello world. Hello world, export, default, hello world. Okay. And then what we do here is that we're saying that when we pass this component here, so if we do hello world here, and say we passed in a message prop to it, it's destructuring the message prop there. So let's do message equals hey James, I don't know, something weird. Then you grab that, but you have to specify its data type, what its data type is going to be. So that's when this comes in, right? That's when type comes in. So bring in type, because you got to define what your type's data type is. It sounds like a mouthful. You can call this anything, actually. You can call this hello props, I believe. Yeah. So it makes sense for us. And then we're saying that our message prop needs to be a type string. Okay. And then when you pass in the message prop, it's going to be a string. So let's see. Is it? Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Hey James, right? But you have to say what the type is of the message. So if we was to put a number in there, there we go. It throws an error, right? Yeah, see, this is where our TypeScript error messaging comes in, and it's helpful because now it's saying type number is not assignable to string. Okay, cool. Yeah, because we already specified that our prop types, that the message prop type needs to be a string when it passes it in. And then we put in a number, so it's like, what? No, you said it was going to be a string. Okay, that makes sense. Put back, hey James. And then it works. Okay, cool. So, with that being said, that's how you do prop types, right? So if I was to put something else like age, so if I change this to name and I change this to age, say age is a string, right? Oh, yeah, because it's his name. Okay, so wait, my name is, and then for name, I'm age years old. Not fine. Oh, right. Age. Hello world. Oh, crap. Okay, put an age. Pass an age prop and say that. Okay. Oh wait, no, this is name. Okay, so name James, age 25. Then you pass in the name and the age. You grab it here. Its data types are string and string. And then you just output that here regularly. My name is name, age is, my name is, there we go. My name is James and I'm 25. Cool beans. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay. Cool. Now, okay, so this is how you do a regular component that has props in it, right? But sometimes you're not gonna have props. You're going to have state. So we need to figure out how do we do that with state. And since we're using functional components, I always use state and use hooks and all that stuff. So we need to figure out how do we use. Oh wait, before I do that, choose a return type. Here, you can actually return the type of the app component, right? So not only you could define what the message prop is going to be, you can actually define what the app component is going to be. So you can define that the app component is going to be type JSX element, just in case somebody tries to return something other than JSX, it'll return an error. So this is actually pretty, it makes it even more secure. So if I was to put that there and then say that the hello world is a type of JSX element, and then we actually return the JSX element. But if I say like I copy this. I say I could cut that out, right? And then I say return 25. That is not a JSX element, right? Yeah, there we go. Type number is not assignable to element, right? So you have to return a JSX element if I specified that the type is JSX element. So let's bring that back. So that's also helpful. We can keep that in there. That makes it just like more secure. Okay. So these are just 3 ways of doing it. I like this way. It's more secure. You can do the other ways too. It's just, yeah. Okay. Wait, what is this one? You can also inline the type declaration. Message is type. Message string. Oh, you can do it. What? No. Wait. No, that's just doing it twice. You're saying the message, and you're saying that the message type is message type string. But you're already doing that when you say message and then put the type as at props, and then it does it for you. So that's kind of like doing extra work. Okay, forget that. Okay, so hooks. There it is. Hooks are supported in types. Type slash from 6. Okay. Okay, whatever that means. I mean, yeah, it's supported in 16.8. I'm guessing React 16.8 and up, which is what React is on anyway. Okay. Use state, which type inference works very well most of the time. So use state, val, toggle, react.use state. Okay, this is normal because this is default value is false. Wonder how to provide types. Explicitly declare the type and use a union type. User set user. Use state. This is null. Oh, so the user is null by default. And then this bracket says that the user's data type can either be iUser or null, or this is the pipe or null. Okay, use reducer. I don't know how to use reducer yet. Okay. So, use state, default value, and then the angle brackets is the data type. The data type that user can be. So this defines the data type that the user can be. It can either be the iUser, wherever they created that at, or it can be null. It can only be these 2 data types, but by default it's null. Okay, that makes sense. So if I was to do I have to change this. Yeah, I have to change this. I have to put it in brackets, and then return here, and then here put some state in here. So say like we have some regular use state, right? So let's bring in use state, because this is what we're going to be using in our form. So there we go, use state, and then make sure you bring in the actual use state types React. Okay, yeah, the React type use state. Okay, so it imported that. There we go. Okay, So now you say, okay, you say what it is. So we can say like name or something like that. So name and set name. Oh, we don't have any props. Okay, so let's get rid of these. Because this is if we don't, this is if we're not using state and we are declaring our props from when we pass it in. But we're not passing any props, so we don't have to define any definitions. Okay, so just a regular JSX element with some state. And we're going to say that the initial name is James. And then I guess we put the brackets before it. Like this. Yeah, there it is. Damn it. Keeps. Yeah, it says the string and then. Okay. So the data type of this. Oh, it's saying that the data type is a string. So what if I put a number? It says it for us. So if I was to put like a number, like 7, it'll say that the, oh, okay. Hey, it does it for us, but we still have to put it in there. So we say that the, let's change it back to a string. James, then say that this is a string. And then let's do another one for age. So age, stop it, stop it, stop it. Set age. Now if I was to put like a number here, it's going to be error because we said that the data type for this use state was string, but it's not. It's number. The data type is a number. And there's no errors. Okay. So now my name is, it should be James. Age should be 24 with the correct data types. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I'm passing it in. I shouldn't be passing it in. Okay, so get rid of these. We're not passing in any props. There we go. My name is James. There we go. Okay. That makes sense. Cool. Okay, so now, now the setting, do we have to do any extra activity when it's like setting? When you like set the name, set age? Do you have like press a button or something? I'm more concerned with, do you have to define any types? Okay, we're going to have to look into that because we're going to have to define types for our form when we do the part 2 and all that good stuff. But right now we're just getting familiar with it. So we have the string data type, the number data type on our use state, now if I wanted to do an array of strings, so if I change this to names, and then I say my names, okay, this is gonna get weird, but my names are, and then put names, get rid of age. So we just say names, right? So my names are, it says James in there, okay. So if I want to do an array of strings, I can do string and then brackets. Now, if that's not, okay, if that's not correct, let's do this first. Let's put in an array of strings and then see if our types are going to be an array of strings. So Jim, Bob. So if you hover over this, it should infer what our data type is. String or array. Huh, it doesn't say an array. It doesn't do the array thing. Okay. Argument of type is assignable by type string. Oh, okay, so this is how you do it. That is how you do it. This is what I'm passing in, but I'm saying that the data type is string. I need to change it to this. So this is what it was. Okay. So I put brackets there and say it's a string array. So an array of strings. Then I refresh it. There we go. My names are James, Jim, Bob. Okay, so that's working. Cool, so that's how you do an array of strings. Now, array of objects. We've seen that before. Those are the type props. An array of objects. Where is it? There it is. So you have the object, you define the props and their types, and then put an array to let you know it's an array of objects. So here, let's just try putting an object, and then say, okay, so object, so we say the name is type string, and then we'll say the age is type number. Let's change this name to data or something like that. And then this to set data or something like that. And then name and then age. And then we put the array right there to let you know it's an array of objects. So now here, in our default state here, we have to put an array of objects. So an array of objects that has, oh shit, no, it's not a string. Name. Then you actually put the data, so James. Right? Is that how you do it? Did I do that wrong? No. Okay. So then age is type. It's a number, right? Oh no, yeah, number 30. Okay, that's one object. And then you do multiple objects. Tim, and then Frank, 35, 20, right? Now this is giving us an error because cannot find names. Did you mean name? Right, because our data is now data. So if we did data, which is an array of objects, and you can't, okay, so you have to map through it. Because now, okay, so you see the data type, object, and then the array, so it's an array of objects. So now at this point, we have to map through it. So we have to do data map, there we go, item. And then we can do return, no, stop doing that, return P that says item dot, and then grab the age, no, grab the name, I am a blank, I'm age, years old. Oh, wait, no, item. Sorry, item dot age, years old. Okay. So now if we look at it, it should look through. My names are, wait, I have it there? Oh, yeah, I do. So take that out. Just map through it. There we go. I'm James, I'm 30 years old, Tim, Frank, boom. An array of objects. That's how you create it. using TypeScript. Got it. Okay. Okay, cool. Ooh, they have forms. I don't think I want to get ahead of myself though. Wait, hold on. Forms is not an issue, and it usually is. Inlining handlers is easiest as you can see. You can just see element. The JSX element. Here's a button. I'll click event. Typed automatically. Huh? State text. Typing on right hand side of. Okay, so this is using forms using TypeScript, which is what we're going to do in part 2. So it's probably good to get familiar with it. Unchange as an event. What is, yeah, because when you unchange, that's the input event. Yeah, dot form event. Yep, and then it's going to be a function that returns nothing. And then you do this state to this. Okay, this is class based, so this set state the text, and you define the text's type up here by saying it was type string. Set it to the current target dot value. Okay. Oh yeah, the text prop, which is right here. You defined in it what the type is. So you define what the props are, and then you define what the types of those props are in a separate area. So this is defining the props. This is defining the types, the type of that prop. Okay, that's easy to remember. Value on change. Is this on change here? Okay. Okay, in our case, we're going to be using functional components, so we're going to have to look that up. But that's really good information there. Okay, so okay. That should be good enough to go by and get into our actual application there. Hooks. Did we just look at hooks? Yeah, we did. Okay. So, so we know how to deal with hooks, right? It's the same thing with inputs almost. Okay, I just want to Google something real quick. Because we're going to be using React hook form for our form validation. I just want to see if they have if the React hook form package, I'm pretty sure it has a TypeScript, TypeScript version of it. Set it with. I've used the regular package before, so that's why it's highlighted here. But I haven't looked at, oh, there it is, TypeScript. Form has been updated. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, okay, they do have TypeScript section. Here's form, describe the props types, like I said before, form data last, first name, last name. Strings, in our case, it would be username and password. And then all of this stuff. And then the errors, handle the register, use form. The data type of the use form is the form data. Okay, so you have to specify that. And then you can do all the, oh, so it's really not that hard actually. Okay, that's really simple. Arrow form is built with Java. It's built with TypeScript, so you can define a form data types form values. Okay, so that makes it look simple. Like I don't even have to do that much work because I know how to do all of this. So cool. You just define what the props are, and then everything else is okay. Cool. Sweet. So that's one of the packages we're going to be using, and then we're going to be using a React router to redirect to the other routes. Is that extra? Is that doing too much? I wonder if that's doing too much. Yeah, we'll see. React router TypeScript. How to use in TypeScript. Okay, this is like a little blog. What the hell happened? Oh, okay. It's like a little blog post on how to use React router with TypeScript. Let's see if it's useful for us. React router DOM. Match. Product. Redirect. Start. This is basic stuff. ID2. Oh, here it is. TypeScript. It allows us to specify exactly what our object shape is. Yeah, that's basically what TypeScript is. Okay. To add TypeScript to create React app first, install it. Node. Type React. Yeah, that all gets installed when we do the template, because I noticed these are all installed in our package.json already. Types jest. I don't know about jest. Types React router DOM. Okay, that will be the one that we install, because we don't have the types version of our React router DOM. Okay, it's kind of exciting actually. Okay, immediately after an error. Binding element matches explicitly as in any type. Caught. Okay, adding types. I don't know what query string is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what that is. But they added the types for it. Okay. It's not really getting to the nitty-gritty of things here. Let's open the... Unless I'm just not understanding it, but... Okay, so that's the type definition for match. Route, component props. The data type for that is going to be ID of number. Oh, okay, so that's sort of extraness there. Okay, we could probably look at a more concrete example on that, but pretty much you can do it with the React router. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to wrap up this video, and then we'll definitely dive into more in the part 2. But that's good that we got part 1. Part 1 was basically familiarizing ourselves with TypeScript and React, and doing how to do the data and how to use state with TypeScript, and creating components with TypeScript, and passing in the props and prop definitions, all that stuff. So we pretty much got a good foundation of how this works, and then in part 2, however long that video is going to be. We'll dive into piece by piece getting our login page to work with TypeScript to React and other packages that we install. So stay tuned to that, guys, and I will see you in that one.